innovations will transform our tomorrow. From the latest breakthrough in green technology to the discovery of humanity's oldest tools, you'll find it all on the Academic Minute.
Listen every weekday afternoon during the KSJE Evening News at 5:30.
Hi, I'm Brett Barry, the host of Soundbeat. Every episode features a recording from Belfer Audio Archive, one of the largest sound archives in the country. We add in a related storyline, whether it be about the performers, the songs, or something else entirely. From vaudeville to vinyl, you'll hear it all on Soundbeat. Soundbeat is produced at the Belfer Audio Archive, Syracuse University Libraries.
Expand your knowledge with the Academic Minute. Each day, travel with us around the world to learn what professors are researching within their specialties and be the first in the know. Listen as we discover the newest green innovations, research the behavioral patterns of animals, and examine how the arts are being studied today. You'll find it all on the Academic Minute.
Listen every weekday afternoon during the KSJE Evening News at 5:30. This program is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, who's expanding its services to offer low-cost blood screenings all year round, now offering walk-in convenience to get the blood tests you want when you want them. MyLabs, patient-ordered testing, is available in Farmington at the hospital's laboratory and the Outpatient Diagnostic Center on 30th Street. Also in Aztec at San Juan Health Partners Family Medicine at 120 Llanos Street. With nearly 20 tests available, there's an option for everyone. MyLabs, patient-ordered testing, a wellness service of San Juan Regional Medical Center. This program on KSJE is supported by Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation, providing a competent, innovative, and caring team of professionals to serve wealth management, trust administration, employee benefit plans, retirement planning, and estate settlement needs. Find out more about Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation at 505-599-0181. "11 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Wednesday morning, May the 1st. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Michlin, and thank you for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM, the information and cultural beacon of the Four Corners, broadcasting to you from the campus of San Juan College. Special good morning to our viewers who are watching us live this morning on the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. Welcome aboard, everybody. We are glad you are with us. Coming up in just a moment, we're going to be talking art this morning on the program. My guest talking about the Aztec Artist Studio Tour, which will be taking place this Saturday and Sunday in Aztec. We'll be talking about that, showing you some of the art that will be available, talking about the artists and the studios that will be on the tour, so stay tuned for that starting in just a few more moments right here on KSJE. Then later on this hour, we will round out the 8 o'clock hour as we do on Wednesdays, talking to Dr. Mike Haddabaugh in the Encouragement Lab. And this week, Dr. Haddabaugh has some words of advice about victimhood. So that's coming up this morning at about 8:55 right here on KSJE. Mick Hess will be along after the news at 9, roving with the arts. Today, Mick is playing more music from Gustav Mahler. It is Mahler's Symphony No. 4 on the radio today at 9:06 right here on KSJE. And at 10:30, don't forget about our local and regional author program with Tracy Hales-Vass. It is right on Four Corners today at 10:30, and Tracy is speaking with author Lou Kristen, who has written the book Summer on the White Grass, and they'll be talking about that book coming up this morning at 10:30 right here on KSJE. Another plug for you to join us on May 18th for the KSJE 0 Mile Fun Run. If you're sitting down listening to the radio right now, you're in training for the 0 Mile Fun Run right this very second. 0 miles on Saturday, May 18th. It starts at 10 o'clock. You can register right now at ksje.com. Get a great t-shirt with our logo this year with the sleeping rabbit and the sloth on it. Who wouldn't want a t-shirt like that? And join us on May 18th. $15 is the registration fee, and you support KSJE by doing that as well. We'll see you May 18th right here at San Juan College. Connect with us, of course, on all platforms of social media, on Facebook, YouTube, KSJE on Twitter, and our brand new Instagram page as well, everybody. We hope you'll check that out as well. If you're looking for something to do around the area besides the Aztec Artist Studio Tour, we invite you to check out our regional events calendar at ksje.com. It is finals week here at San Juan College, so there are therapy dog sessions on campus to help with finals stress. So that is happening. There's a May the 4th Be With You disc golf tournament for May 4th, Star Wars Day, here at San Juan College. Farmington Social Dance Club is having a dance on May the 2nd, and there's also an Upper Antelope Slot Canyon guided tour on May the 4th, part of the Farmington Museum, and of course the Great Strides Walk to Cure Cystic Fibrosis happening on May the 4th this week. We talked about that earlier this week on the program. Just some of the many events you'll find on our regional events calendar when you check it out at ksje.com. Well, let me turn to my guests who are here with me this morning to talk about the Aztec Artist Studio Tour. We have a full studio of artists with us this morning, so let me welcome them. Tim Gordon is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
You bet. Bonnie Adams is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here as well. And Jessica Polatty is here as well. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning, Scott.
Thank you all for coming in and joining me to talk a little bit about this great event. This is the second year that you've had an artist studio tour in Aztec. Tim, you were telling me before we came on the air, correct?
Yes, last year was a first year for it. We've been talking about it for about a year or so, and finally got it put together last year. And then this year is our second annual.
Okay, very good. And so you have more artists this year?
Yes, we've actually grown this year. We last year we had 5 studios and about 18 artists. This year we've got 7 studios and 26 artists.
Wow. Okay. And they'll be open both days this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, for the tour, correct, everybody? And so we have a map, I know, to show everyone of the different locations for the artists and the studios. And so talk a little bit about that. Who would like to talk about the different artists? Bonnie?
Well, this year it's really wonderful. We have artists who are doing 2-dimensional art, 3-dimensional art, pottery, sculpture. We have a woodworker who's doing paintings in wood. Amazing. Watercolors, oil, acrylic, you name it, we have it. So
nice.
A lot of different people.
Lots of variety, right?
Yeah, it's amazing how many artists per square foot there is in this area.
There is. I'm always amazed, right? And I think a lot of people would be surprised if they're not already aware by the quality of art and artists that are here in this area too.
Absolutely. If you go to Facebook, you can find a variety of their work at Aztec Artist Studio Tour on Facebook. And every day at 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. we've been posting one of the artists that's represented in the tour. And you can go there and just get a small sample of the wonderful things they do.
Right. Very good. And Jessica Polatty, you are here as well, and I know you are part of the founding members of the Feet of Clay Gallery in Aztec and the co-op that's there, and that's part of this as well, right?
It is. This year we're including Feet of Clay being open. Normally it is open on Saturday, but it will also be open on Sunday as well. And there will be featured artists in there taking precedence in the gallery, as well as with the studios that are located in Aztec. So we're excited that that's going to be open both days as well. Very
nice. And so we're showing the map on the screen right now for folks who are watching us, and that is on the back of the card that we're showing as well, correct? Mm-hmm. And folks can pick these up at various locations around town, so they can check out all the different locations.
And they'll be located. They've been all around town, but then Feet of Clay also has a stack, so if you go by there, if you don't have one and you're doing the tour, you can pick one up for the map. You can get it on the Facebook page.
Right.
Feet of Clay, I think, has posted it on their Facebook page. And then various studios will also have them. So
if you start there first, or start at one of the studios first, you can get one, and then you won't get lost.
Yeah, you don't have to follow the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You don't.
You can go backwards if you want.
Really?
However you want.
That's just anarchy. Be careful. But that's
and in Aztec, there's wonderful places to stop if you get tired. I mean, Aztec has its own local brewery now.
That's true.
At my house, Gluttonous Pig is going to be set up selling their delicious food. And the different artists will have snacks and
that's a food truck, if folks aren't familiar with what a gluttonous pig is, outside your front door.
It's what you feel like after you've eaten some of her wonderful stuff.
Right, that's very good. And so that's good to know. And so as we talk about this, let's talk about some of the art that's going to be part of this, because you've invited how many artists again, Tim, Gordon?
I think we have 26.
Okay, and they're all different types of mediums that they work in, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
And
so,
some of them are do multiple mediums.
right, not just painting, not just
just
sculpture,
painting.
not just pottery.
Right.
Which is exciting too. So I pulled a couple of pictures off of your Facebook page, as
Right.
you've been talking about, and so this is
Thelma Daly.
okay, and this is some art that will be available.
I'm not sure if this exact piece will be there, but Thelma
Okay.
has been doing art for quite some time, and she designs and makes her own jewelry, and she is very excited by folk art
Okay.
and a folk approach to her pottery. So you'll see a lot of wonderfully painted pots, and food safe because they're all
Sure.
glazed and fired.
Right. So for our radio audience, we're looking at two pieces of pottery that have been painted with some bright red flowers, and
Yeah, and that looks like mayolica, which is a type of pottery that comes out of Spain.
Okay.
And people would be familiar with that. And she enjoys doing mayolica and that kind of approach in a stoneware. So her stuff is exciting and interesting, and she will be at the Adams Studio.
okay, right outside, right to your house.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
There you are. Another piece that we're looking at. This looks more like a plate that's been hand painted.
And that's another Thelma.
Okay. Very good. And then this one.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful? That's what I love about her stuff. It's so whimsical. And this is one of Thelma's. And she does a variety of things like that are just simply delightful.
Right. And this is maybe, how would you describe that? A clown?
Yeah,
Right?
clownish.
Clownish. I don't
And
wanna-
that would be the head, and the little neck
collar?
piece is the lid of the jar.
This is like a cookie jar or something,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever you want to
yeah.
use it
Whatever,
for.
yeah.
Yeah, it's up to you, right?
Yeah.
And the cool thing I think about having an event like this is being able to talk to the artists and maybe hear the story or what inspired
Absolutely.
them to create these pieces and things like that. All of you are artists too. Do you enjoy that when a customer is really interested in a piece and asks you about it or wants to know the story behind it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you work hard to do something, and just someone being interested kind of gives you almost a new look at what you've done. You do it yourself, you have your own reasons, and then they come and they enjoy it, and it increases your own pleasure.
Right, right. So we're talking about the Aztec Artist Studio Tour. It's happening this weekend in Aztec, everybody. It'll be on Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 5 on Saturday and 11 to 4 on Sunday.
Correct.
Yes.
At all of these locations that we've been showing you. And we've got some of the different pieces of art that we pulled off of the Facebook page. And again, you can find out more. There's so many more pieces, photos, and images that I didn't pull this morning to share with our viewers. But there's so many different types that are there. This is a painting, right?
Yes, this is a painting. I'm looking.
I can't make out the signature.
By Steve Unger.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
That's Steve Unger.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's been an artist for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
Does a
Right.
lot of plein air, so that could possibly be a plein air or a piece done from a plein air.
I see. Okay.
And he's a very interesting individual. He'll be at the Adams Studio as well. And he hails from Texas and has quite a personality.
Does he? Okay. Interesting. And so another piece that we are looking at here, and then this one is some woodworking, right? And
That's Stephen Barr, and he's amazing. He does wonderful wood furniture, but then
Right.
at the same time, these are called wood paintings, I believe he describes them. So, maybe wall hangings or something that's freestanding, but is just an artistic piece. And
yeah.
very interesting.
very much so, Tim.
I think he may, at least I hope he will, and he will be at the Feet of Clay
Okay.
location.
Right.
But he also is doing lamps.
Wooden
He does
lamps.
Wooden
Right.
lamps, and the shade is like a really thin wood.
The shade is
veneer.
made of wood too. Wow.
Yeah, and the play of light and color through the wood and stuff is quite unique.
Interesting. And so that is Stephen Barr, and we'll see some of his work at Feet of Clay. And it looks like the piece we're showing now is maybe different types of wood, or that's been
That's
stained,
true.
or different to highlight the different types of wood and what they represent in an artistic way. Very,
I don't know whether he stained the wood or not, because
or is it natural?
He uses a lot of natural
lot of
colored
natural woods.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
you ought to see stock of wood he's got in his studio.
Oh, I bet. I can only imagine, right? It's amazing, right? But this is part of that as well. Another image here that we're looking at, and I can't tell if it's a painting or a photograph.
It's a photograph.
Okay.
And I believe this is by Stacy Harris.
Yep.
Okay.
This looks like Mullis Pass area. But
She lives in
Yeah, it
Bloomfield, outside
Right.
of Bloomfield. So we've known Stacy for a very long time, and
Nice.
I know she's part of the Farmington Photo Club, and so president, I believe.
Yes.
And so she's going to be at
She's at
Robin's
Blanco.
house?
Robin's house.
Robin
yeah, she's
Wellman.
at Robin Wellman.
Robin
Okay.
Wellman's
which is on
house.
Blanco.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she's an amazing photographer.
Nice.
Amazing.
Very cool. And again, this is an event in Aztec, but it's bringing in artists from even outside of Aztec.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Four Corners area.
Yeah.
That are able to display at your studios and things like
Yeah,
that. But the,
yeah.
Each host studio invites
Yeah.
Okay,
the artists that they are hosting.
I see.
So, and it can change from year to year.
Sure.
Yeah. And what's wonderful is you really get a picture of what's happening, and you get to meet the artists and learn where they're showing their stuff, so it opens your avenue to obtain art throughout the year. And besides, Mother's Day's coming.
Well, good point. That's a very good
Yes,
point.
and
Right
Christmas
about
right
Mother's
around the
Day.
corner.
Right.
Christmas is around the corner. That's true.
Yeah. Father's Day is shortly after Mother's Day. and
Graduation.
Birthday.
Graduation. Let's see. Birthday.
And-
It's
We
got
could go
someone's
on and on
birthday.
and on.
Right. And people, when they move, they take their art.
Yeah.
Right.
They might leave a table or a chair.
And don't forget, it can be a gift, or you can just simply buy it for yourself.
I
That's
have
what
run
always
out of
tell
wall
people.
space.
I know. I have run out of wall space.
That's
too.
allowed. It's allowed. You're
It's
allowed to buy
allowed.
Yeah.
art for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Good
Yes.
to know. And I think too, when we talk about the quality of local art and the
Yes.
number of artists that are here, it's a lot different too than maybe going to a place like Santa Fe or
Absolutely.
And other places in
Absolutely.
Denver, and the prices may be a little different too, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. I've had people come through Feet of Clay when I've been there from Santa Fe,
Right.
from larger places, Durango, Taos, Santa Fe, Albuquerque, and they are so impressed, not only with the gallery, which is a wonderful gallery, but with the art that's in the gallery. And we talk about it, and they just are amazed at the quality of art and the variety in this area. And of course,
how reasonable it
the
is.
prices.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
because I would think
absolutely.
that some of these pieces that we're looking at could be seen at a gallery in Santa Fe, and the price would be just a little bit different than what we'll find this weekend in Aztec.
Yeah, a lot of the artists are actually showing in other galleries in other cities.
Mm-hmm.
One of the artists who was here last year isn't here this year because he was invited to show in Georgia. So that's where he is this year.
Wow.
So, yeah.
He's having a one-man show, his first one-man show.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's a photographer, but he does a very unique, old-style
Approach.
approach of printing.
Okay, I see.
Cyanotypes.
Interesting.
And the
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
And he's been invited to do his own show out of state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Georgia.
So that's the kind of artists that are in this show.
Right. Unique.
Unique and very good.
And when we talk about art, it's always interesting to me because some people may say, well, I don't like that, but I do like this. And art is very personal, is it not, for everybody?
It is.
And so it really is up to the individual to decide what you do like. And it's okay not to like everything.
Absolutely.
That
Everybody
you
has
see.
their preferences.
Right.
Some people like a real abstract or surrealist or something like, and other people like something that's very
Hyper-realistic.
realistic.
Right. That's okay.
Yeah,
There's really no rules about it, are there?
No, there's no rules about it. And in fact, I always laugh about that because I'll pull things out of the kiln and be like, yeah, wow, okay, I hate that. And then somebody else will love it. So it's just, even for the artist, you're just like, wow, that is not my favorite piece. And it's the first one to go off the shelf. And you're just like, okay.
I've been
great.
amazed at how many
Found a
times
new
that's
home.
happened.
Right.
Yeah.
When you finish something that you thought was going to look a certain way and it looks a little different, is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is, I've done pieces that I thought, oh man, this is going to sell quickly.
Right. Okay. I see.
And I've still got it. And I've got something that I've done, and okay, it's nice, but and it's the first, like she says, it's the first
funny.
piece that goes.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you cannot judge what the public is going to be interested in. But that's okay, because we have fun doing all of it anyway.
Right.
And a lot of artists don't do it simply to sell anyway. They're doing it
For the love of
for
art.
esoteric reasons, for their own spirit, their own soul, their own growth.
Right.
And a lot of art, it touches a person and it makes them happy or makes them think. Artists very often are the voice in the society, and they're the ones who are actually saying things people are thinking. So there's a lot of reasons to do art, and there's a lot of reasons to love it, and there's a lot of reasons to have it in your own home.
Right. Good point, Jessica.
And we encourage people that are coming to the studio tour, whether to purchase or just see what it's all about. Like Bonnie said, you get to sit there and talk with the artists who are making the work and hear their process. But if you're an aspiring artist, we want to hear from you as well. Don't forget, Feet of Clay is an artist co-op, and we're always looking for new members and new artists to come along. Or being able to help those artists, price their work, how to display it, those kinds of things. So we're very interested in that. So if you're an aspiring artist and you're just sort of checking us out to see who else is out there, do not be intimidated by the artwork that's here. It's very wonderful art, as Bonnie said, but all art has its place. And so we want to talk to you about your art as well.
Yeah, and Feet of Clay has a history
Right.
of growing aspiring artists. So, it's one of the reasons we're there is not just to sell our own stuff, but to grow art in this area, to encourage it, to give it a place to blossom. So the studio tour is, like a cornucopia
Right.
of
Right.
people and things you can meet and learn from.
Sure.
And I wanted to go back, if you can, to the map. I just wanted to really accentuate that map shows that this studio tour takes place. Well, Main Street is where Feet of Clay is, but then we're also on Church Street and on Mesa Verde Avenue. It goes all the way across 516 onto
To
Mesa
Pioneer.
and to Pioneer.
Yeah.
Right.
You can walk this tour.
Yeah.
You can drive it, that's absolutely fine, but many of the studios are so close that you can just walk this entire tour, including Feet of Clay. So that's kind of a neat thing about Aztec, is that it is kind of that small area that we have. It just so happens that these people all have their studios on these two streets, which is
Right.
or three streets, so it's really interesting. But
Is that an artist conspiracy?
I don't know. We all moved there at different times.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of strange.
Someone
but-
stuck an art magnet in the middle of
Yeah,
Aztec.
Maybe that's it.
But with
Right.
the arts, we're hoping with the MRA and Aztec that the Arts and Cultural District is that's what it will be named, and
Yeah.
Feet of Clay is going to play a very large part in that. So
That's
we're very excited that this studio tour kicked off last year, and it's just going to keep growing.
Very exciting, right? And art could be an economic driver, can it not, for a
Absolutely.
community?
Yes, it
I mean, we
can.
talk about places like Santa Fe and Taos and things like
There have
that.
been whole
Absolutely.
cities that were dying that recreated themselves as art centers.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things, too, about if you decide you want to walk the tour is on Church, but also on Mesa Verde, there are a lot of the historic homes.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So as you're walking, you're going to see a variety of the historic homes that are on the historic register.
Right.
So you get another thing.
Added bonus, right?
Yeah.
As you're
An
walking
added
through these
bonus.
great neighborhoods. Sure.
Right.
Don't forget, I believe that the Aztec Museum would be open on a Saturday, and they do have a listing of the historic homes and that kind of thing. So if you're out and about, you can
Little
pick that
walking
up
tour.
as you do that as well.
Yeah.
I'm all about promoting Aztec, as you
Yeah.
know. So
Right.
And don't forget, I'm going to do a shameless plug that for Atos, that the Alien Run bike race is that same Saturday.
Okay.
So a lot of people may be out doing the bike race, but we had a lot of those people come through the tour afterwards. And
Yeah.
that was very
Yeah.
fun to talk with
Yeah.
them and hear how they placed or how they felt the race
Yeah.
went. And then they purchased art, or they at least came and walked through, and they were really excited about it. It was something else to do in Aztec for them
Right.
after the race.
That's
It was
great.
fun.
Well, again, it is the Aztec Artist Studio Tour happening this weekend in Aztec on both Saturday and Sunday. And you mentioned the Alien Run is happening on Saturday as
Yes.
well. So there'll be maybe some new visitors to the community to check it out, and then maybe come by and take a look at some of the art
Yeah.
with,
Absolutely.
with everybody
Please.
else. But you can come on Saturday or Sunday.
Yep.
Doesn't
Doesn't
matter
make any
necessarily,
difference.
right?
And,
We'll be
and,
there.
and some of the
Although
art,
first come, first served, right? So some may go if you're not there
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
well, and we'll also have some yard type art
Right.
So it's not all necessarily for the house.
It could be indoor or outdoor,
Yeah.
right?
Could
And
be
Tim, you
outdoor.
do some of this
Yes.
outdoor art too, some sculptures and some wind
Yeah.
Kinetic wind sculptures or
That's
static.
a better term for it than a wind thing
Kinetic
that I was
wind
going to call it.
sculptures.
Thank you. But they're really fascinating,
Yeah.
and certainly we don't have a shortage of wind in our area some days, and so they really have some motion and can add something to your garden or
Some
yard.
of them are, though, are just static. They're just, it's a nice, interesting arrangement
Right.
that you can have in a garden, as a garden.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just some kind of feature.
Yeah.
Of whatever. But you'll have those on display at your at your gallery as well.
Yeah, Tim is one of those people who works in multiple materials. He works in metal and wood, and he does what I consider hyper-realistic acrylic paintings, but he does also watercolor. So he really does a lot of things.
Does
Like I
everything.
said-
Multi-talented is
He'll
I
come
think
over
another
and
word.
weed
I
his
just have-
garden. He'll do anything. He'll
Well, he
do
won't
all
weed
that.
my
I know,
garden.
he
I was going
won't.
to say, wait a minute.
Really.
Yeah, we have to talk after the show. But yeah,
I just have fun. That's
Good for you.
That's the whole thing. I'm
Yeah,
enjoying
yeah.
it.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, let me show a couple other pieces that we want to talk
Okay.
about this
Okay.
morning. Some of the other types of art that we'll be seeing. This looks like some jewelry.
Pip Howard.
Yeah,
Yep,
Pip.
that's her jewelry that she does. And she's one of the studios that's open. She's on Church Street. I don't know what number it is, but
Yeah, she's
Right.
going to at 314 Church, and
Number
she's going to
3.
have Deb Fisher, who was an art teacher in Aztec. Yeah, was it
Okay.
Aztec? Yeah, historically taught art there, and Anne Four. Deb Fisher's paintings are they're incredibly moving and kind of almost bold, so they're interesting to see. And Anne Four has been doing pottery for a long time. I have several of her pieces myself, so
Nice.
they're lovely.
Very cool. Well, that's part of it. And then another. This is another photograph, I think.
Yeah,
Patrick,
that's
I think this.
I'm pretty sure that's
Right, I think
Patrick.
this is Pat Hazen's.
Okay.
Because it looks like it's printed on metal.
Which he
It's
does
got-
a lot of, doesn't
right,
he? Yes.
he does that quite a bit of that. But that the vibrancy of the colors printed on metal.
You have to see it in person. This doesn't
Yeah.
do it justice
Right.
showing it on
It
a screen.
doesn't.
But they're amazing. And the
Yeah.
lighting, and you're right, the colors are so vivid
And
when
Pat,
you see those.
Pat Hazen will be at the
Jeannie Melandra's.
Jeannie Melandro's
Okay.
studio.
Which is right up from mine. And his partner, Karen Ellsbury, who's a painter and has a studio downtown Farmington, she will be at my studio. So they'll be
Okay.
really close,
Nice. Very
But
good.
safely separate.
but safely separate.
Okay, that's important.
Conveniently close, but safely separate.
There you go. That's true. Well, that looks great. And again, Saturday 10 to 5 and Sunday 11 to 4
Yeah.
is the artist studio. And
Yeah.
and who else is going to be part of that we haven't talked about yet? Any other artists that we want to mention?
Oh my
I
gosh.
want to mention
Yeah.
at my studio, because of course I'm going to shamelessly plug my studio.
Oh, of course.
Is myself. And then Robert Rutherford will be showing paintings there. And then we also have Karen Ellsbury, who I mentioned, and then Diana Luck, who actually does a lot of pottery and a little
Yes.
bit of jewelry, and she sells homemade mustard, and she made a ton of it for this. So
Okay.
her mustard is fantastic. So we're letting the artists, like Tim mentioned, many do different things, including all of us. And so we're letting them put in whatever they want. I'm
Yeah.
putting in various things: photography, pottery.
Okay.
I do knitted scarves, not like tissue paper covers, but nice things.
Yeah.
So we're just letting them put in whatever they want, and so I think that variety is also a really great
Fun
reason
thing.
to come by.
Sure. Okay.
At my studio,
Yes, Tim.
of course, I'll have my work,
Right.
and all multiples of different types of mediums and stuff.
Sure.
But we'll also have Lou Mansell, which does some really nice, unique, custom design jewelry.
Okay.
And then my brother, Kenneth Gordon.
Right.
And he is a photographer, and he is also, in the last couple of years, got into doing some metal sculpture stuff. And so I think he's going to have some of that.
Well, it must run in the family, I suppose, some of this artistic expression between
Well,
you.
know, you got to do something besides one thing.
Yeah.
when you get bored.
That's true.
And
Okay.
then John Bentz will be there. He is a potter, does
Right.
pottery, and he'll have some other stuff, some jewelry and stuff. And he's going to be out in the carport, which is huge.
Okay.
So I said, just have at it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And John is productive.
Yes.
Okay.
He does a lot.
All right. Bonnie, what about at your place?
Well, I'll be there, and I do pottery and oil on canvas, and I've just started playing a little bit with acrylics, so that's my stuff. And also, we'll have Paloma Barron. She's a young woman, and she does a lot of graphite and charcoal, and they're incredible. I'm I get so excited when I see younger people with her level of talent, and her future is going to be so interesting.
Nice.
Sandy Martin, she's doing jewelry. That's what she's basically focusing on this time. And Thelma Daly, whose work we've seen.
Right.
Rick Myers, who works in watercolors, and gouache, I always say that wrong, and Steve Unger, whose work we've seen.
Right.
And also, I wanted to talk a little bit about Feet of Clay, because we have Glenna, who's a member, that's showing her work, and she does acrylics, and she does beaten copper jewelry that she designs, which is also really interesting. And there's Tom Schultz, master of all trades. He carves in marble, he paints in watercolors. He's like
Metal
Tim.
sculpture.
He does metal sculpture. He fixes everything at Feet of Clay. He
Okay.
is beloved and invaluable.
Nice.
And he's super funny.
Yeah, and also very funny, and he is extrovert beyond all extroverts. So if you go there, you will have so much fun with him.
Okay.
And then Rick Kenciano, who is self-taught in watercolors, and his stuff, he has an Asian approach, and it's very, very interesting. And he's also doing painted clothing and painted scarves, so that's really cool.
Okay.
And one other person is there, Steve Barr, whose stuff we've seen.
Right.
And one more thing, this month we have on display in the gallery is the Recycle Show.
Recycled art show.
Yeah,
Right.
the Recycled Art Show is still hung, and it will be hung those 2 days. And why I want to say that is we still have yet to decide who gets the People's Choice Award.
So if you go by
why?
there, you
Yes,
can vote.
absolutely. Vote for your pick for People's Choice while you're enjoying everything else. So
Good to
that's
know.
a really cool thing.
All right. Very good. Tim?
112 East Blanco is the Wellman studio, and that would be Robin Wellman, which we saw a piece of her work.
Right.
Or maybe we haven't yet, but we may. And then Stacy Harris, the photographer. So there's just going to be two at that particular studio.
Okay. Very good. And I was going to point out that both you and Bonnie Studios are on the north side of 516
We're in
on
Pioneer, yeah,
On Pioneer.
and pretty much across from each other.
Right. And then the others are kind of more on the south side.
And there will be signs.
Good.
Oh,
All
yeah, look
over.
for the signs.
There you
They're
go.
going to
Yeah,
be plastered
yeah.
all over Aztec.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. And we just had a couple minutes remaining this morning, everybody. I did want to talk a little bit about price, because I think maybe some folks think, well, I can't afford to buy a piece of personalized, handcrafted art, but I would imagine from the things we've seen today, there are going to be all different price points for the
Absolutely.
items
There will
on this
be.
tour.
$10
Yeah.
on up.
Right?
There will be, and we encourage that not only through Feet of Clay, but with our artists that we select for this studio tour. It's one of the things that I like about Feet of Clay and these artists is I tell them if they're coming, have a variety of pricing, because many people, like, maybe they can't afford the huge canvas that you have out there, but they could afford something smaller or a print of yours. So please bring prints, those kinds of things, because we want to encourage people to know that art is for the masses. It's not just for the elite. It's not for the people who have lots of money. Anybody can have something that's of high quality.
And it has a meaning behind it, too.
Absolutely.
Right? Is
And
what we're
it's an
talking
original.
about.
Yeah.
And an
Correct.
original.
But we absolutely do appreciate people who can afford it to come out and support the artists.
Sure.
And go ahead and buy that big ticket item.
sure.
Really, we
Of
do
course we want
encourage
that.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Of
So
course.
the whole spectrum.
Okay. Cash, credit cards.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Doesn't
across
matter,
the board.
right?
Yep.
So there you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, again, everybody, we are talking about the Aztec Artist Studio Tour. It is happening this weekend in Aztec, throughout Aztec, on May 4th and May 5th. Again, the maps are available at the Feet of Clay Gallery and all of the Aztec Artist Studios that will be on the tour as well this weekend.
Some of the restaurants.
and the restaurants in Aztec. So
The city of Aztec is posting it on their visitor center site as well. So
excellent.
Yeah.
So you can
Find
check
it.
it out.
And
You
we
can
will
find it
be
on
in-
Facebook and print it off and have it with you.
Exactly.
We'll be in the Daily Times on Thursday. So
Okay.
there'll be coverage there as well.
Very
At least
good.
We think so.
That's the
because-
plan.
That's the
Okay.
plan.
That's what he said last night when he called me.
Okay, well, good. Let's
Now
hope
he's
that
committed.
happens. So wonderful. Well, thank you all very much for coming in this
Thank you,
morning. We
Scott.
are out of time, but we love talking about art and love talking about Aztec. So it's two of our favorite things.
Thank you for having us.
Us too.
Yeah, there you go. You're very welcome, everybody. Good luck with the event this weekend. It should be a great weather weekend, too. So
Yes.
it's wonderful.
Yay.
So
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to getting out and about. My guests here talking about the Aztec Artist Studio Tour on KSJE. I'm Scott Michlin. I'll be back with more in just a moment, everybody. The time right now is 8:43. This program on KSJE is supported by Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation, providing a competent, innovative, and caring team of professionals to serve wealth management, trust administration, employee benefit plans, retirement planning, and estate settlement needs. Find out more about Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation at 505-599-0181. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, your community hospital with a rich heritage that dates back to before New Mexico was a state. We've been improving the health of the Four Corners since 1910. As a nonprofit hospital, San Juan Regional Medical Center is a values-driven organization. We strive to deliver on our mission to personalize health care and create vitality and enthusiasm in healing. We are here for you when you need us, offering a comprehensive range of inpatient